Hello users of YouTube and welcome to yet a new episode of Daniel's Videos and Etc. guys. And instead of taking place in my room, which is where 99.95% of all my YouTube videos take place, this one is actually taking place in my brother's room. And the reason why I say this is, well, Project Floater576 is completed. And here is the finished build. It looks exactly the same. And so yeah, this is the computer, and it's still doesn't look that much different. My brother had a few things in mind for this case. He wanted to paint a lambada symbol on the side of it, like the one from Half-Life. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Either that or it's yeah, okay, anyway. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take a tour of the outside and what we got here. Basically, alright guys, now I had to move the case to the side. So basically here's what we got here on the outside. So we got that LG DVD rewritable drive here on the front. And we also have the nice Dempsey Flex fan filter. This one has, this one's specially designed for this case. Sort of, it's kind of sticking up in some areas, and the magnet to fit the fan filter on is kind of a little rickety, like it would kind of fall off in certain spots. But yep, there's the magnet, and it just sticks on right there. Really good, because I had engineered this computer to be positive air pressure, which means more intakes than outtakes, or exhausts. This thing does not have as much dust as mine would get. This thing has a lot of like air to get out and escape from, so there you go. So yeah, basically the idea is the computer's completed, and that's what I'm saying. But regardless, this is using a Cooler Master half case. I believe it's the 922, and it's a pretty big case, and a lot of people think this is really massive. But regardless, I believe I told you guys in some of my other videos about how this computer came into my brother's life, and my life too. But pretty much this is the finished build and all the stuff we have in it, and how I explained in the last video of it built. So, alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and switch off the power supply in the back so I can open the case up. Now just to open the case screws. Now the case itself could use a bit of a paint job, as it is a little disgusting and scratched in that sense. Alright. So here we have that anti-tool mount system right here that contains that LG drive. Like I said, it's an IDE drive, and at the bottom we have the Seagate hard drive. Pull these hard drive racks out, you can get to see it. So that's Seagate hard drive. I think it's a Barracuda of some sort. Yeah, Barracuda. 600 gig. Oh, does it say 500? 600. Yeah, it's 500 gig Barracuda drive. I don't know what version of SATA it's using. I cannot figure it out yet. But yeah. When we're on the computer, though, I'll show you guys the benchmarks on this machine. Anyway, guys, here we have that Asus motherboard, and as you can see, it looks completely different now. There's that 4 Corsair 4x4 gig SIM card, RAM cards in this thing, and here's that Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. One thing I need to say about this cooler is, I don't know why, but it looks a little bit different than the one I put it in my computer a year ago. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same model. One thing I do notice though that is a bit of an issue is this thing spins really, really fast all the time. It seems to will not want to stop spinning fast all the time. So I'm pretty sure you can tell that the the Intel i7-860 probably was not very good at doing heat. Heat dissipation wasn't very good on that processor, I guess. The fact that it's still burning heat and stuff, or the fact that it's still producing heat, and this thing, and it requires a CPU cooler to kick in extra hours and whatever. But anyway, guys, this case of course has 2 case fans. This one on the back is exhaust, and this one in the front as the intake. It has an LED light, which can be controlled by this button up here. You can turn the LED light on and off with that switch. But this motherboard and all this stuff inside, some parts new, some parts old. But when me and my brother found this, of course, it was about a 2010 era gaming computer. It's obvious that the person who added this originally didn't really tend to upgrade it at all. But anyway, we have the Corsair HX 750 watt power supply. We still kept that in there, and we added a few expansion cards too. In addition, of course, to cleaning it out, we also added Anyway, guys, so I'm going to go down the list here. Right on the top here, we have the Sound Blaster RX card. Audigy, I forget what it's called. I think it's like the Audigy RX. And we have that card installed on the top here. There is the audio cable going out of it and into the front panel. And next we have that the Radeon XFX Radeon HD 5850, I believe. If that's what it says on the top. Yeah, 5850 graphics card. And then next slot we have, here, let me get on my, let me kind of crouch. There we go. So yeah, we got that graphics card. Next slot we have a generic Inland branded USB card. I believe it's using an NEC chipset for the its USB capabilities. And right underneath that we have a sort of Chinese bought wireless card, but it does contain, I don't know if it's genuine or not, but it contains the Intel AC7260 Wi-Fi chip with Bluetooth, and you can see that the USB connector is sticking out, and it plugs right into the motherboard. Now, a few things I need to say about this cable, and I wanted to clarify a few things. When I bought this cable on Amazon, it was listed, and it on the picture looked just like the card that I'd put in my computer, the original Intel AC7260 Wi-Fi card, same one. And when I bought it though, so there was like a listing from China. It was the cheapest option. Amazon had sold out their cards for a while, and this was the cheapest option with shipping. So I got this for like $39 or $40. I'll specify in the video. But the big problem with this is, well, it's not exactly what I thought it would be. Instead, it was a completely different card, completely different brand, and it's nothing like the actual Intel Wi-Fi card. It does use the same chipset, but the riser card's different and the antennas are different. And the whole basic layout of this board is different too. It's just not at all what I expected. It is what I ordered, but not what I expected. It wasn't in the picture. Didn't look anything like the one in the picture, so I was kind of cheated out a little bit there, but I kind of ignored it because the card is still working and it works pretty good. So I just kind of let that slide. So that's just pretty much it. The card, it has Bluetooth, and I think the Bluetooth is on, or it is working, and we do have the Intel drivers already installed for this thing. I think I can show you guys the antenna. Don't know if I can. Yeah, the antenna's down there on its side. I think if I can see it like that. I don't know if it's on its side. Yeah, there it is. It's one of it's kind of leaning off to the side there, and then one's sticking up-ish. But yeah, those are the two antennas, very big and thick ones, like the ones you might find on a router. But yeah. But yeah, it's kind of like a black scheme. It's got a silver case on the outside, but that's pretty much it for that thing. And it works and it does the job. It hasn't like done anything wrong yet, but it does the job and it does it well. As for the rest of the computer, you might notice, of course, that the graphics card is beginning to sag back here. I'm not a fan with saggy graphics cards, as they can be a problem for the connector itself, as it can create damage to the connector. And that's not very good. So this computer has been around for about a month already, since we first got it. A month or 3 months since we first got it. Of course, when this video is uploaded, it's going to be about February by the time this video is uploaded or something like that. But as you can see, that this thing has zero dust inside of it. It is actually as much cleaner than I thought it would be. The CPU fan's nice and clean. But yeah, that is like pretty good for a computer. Yeah. Although there is still some dust particles on the motherboard I should probably get someday. But yeah. Anyway, guys, so on the bottom there is a fan filter. It is another Dempsey Flex fan filter. I don't know if you guys should be able to see it, but it is on the bottom, and it's for the power supply. Maybe if I can pull it out. I probably won't be able to because it's kind of constricted down there, and I can't get my finger under the case. But anyway, yeah, there's a Dempsey Flex filter down there for the power supply. But so far, all the times I'd cleaned the fans or the fan filters out, it didn't really need any much dusting. So that's always a good thing, guys. And this computer is actually pretty good. And of course, it's kind of wire organized here. We got all these power supply wires leading into the back of the motherboard riser. Although when installing the bracket to install the Hyper 212 Evo, the fan cooler, the bracket barely fitted around the this back panel. There's a cutout to install that, and it's quite constricting as the AMD side's sticking up, and it is kind of like probably it might be bending the back of this plate a little bit. I had to get it in there really hard, but when buying cases, just make sure, guys, that when you get a case and you want to put this cooler in here, make sure you have enough room for that bracket to fit. And I believe that bracket takes out about 1 centimeter of space. If you measured it out completely, it's about 1 centimeter. Yeah, about 1 centimeter, maybe 0.8 centimeters. But it's like it takes up a lot of space. So keep that in mind, guys. But yeah, all right, guys, that's kind of pretty much it for the computer side of things, the hardware internals. I'm gonna go ahead and move on over to the computer here in a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and put the case back on. I'll power it up and I'll show you guys what we got on the desk. Alright, guys, so here I am on the desk, and kind of a brief overview about what we have on here on the desk. We got Logitech speakers. Those are connected to, I believe, that one port I explained in that audio card video. That port being the center out video or center out audio speaker. I don't know what it was called, but it's plugged into the one that I said it was probably the 2.1 channel also. So I plugged that. The speakers are hitting there. We got an AOC 27-inch monitor. I don't know exactly what the model number is, guys. If you check out that PC part picker link, you'll guys know what the monitor is. But hold on a second, guys. But yeah, anyway, guys, so yeah, that PC part picker link will also help you figure out what this kind of monitor was. I mean, we actually had this computer already built about a couple months ago when the summer began, so I don't exactly remember what made this had the what was in this machine, or I'm sorry, what how much everything cost and the general specifics of it. So by the time this video is uploaded, though, it would probably be already 6 months in use. So that's quite a bit of a time travel if you think about it like that. But anyway, guys, this is an AOC not ultra wide, but it's an AOC 27-inch monitor. Nice and big, and it's a very good monitor. Not cheap though. It was like $230, but I think it was cheap compared to all the others that were on the market at the time. And this monitor here has one VGA. And it does have built-in speakers, though they're not that very great, but they get the job done if that's all you have. This thing also has 2 HDMI inputs and 1 DisplayPort input, and that's what we use. So yeah, we have we're using the that Radeon graphics card as and we're using the display port on it, and we have this connected to the monitor. So we just used the best cable we had. So yep. So basically, this computer right here is it's currently not on, but peripherals on the desk we have here. We got this Razer gaming mouse pad, and we have this mouse. It says Team SCO Vipen. Scorpion. Okay, sorry. It says Team Scorpion on it, and well, it is a skulls on the mouse, so that's interesting. Berry blue. The mouse does the job. This is the one my mouse brother wanted. I forget the website he got it from. It was like Controllers something. Like it had 2 Z's at the end of it, I think. Controllers is. But it's like one of those mouse. I think I should be able to correct myself on that one. I will definitely tell you guys in the video what that mouse's brand was and where it actually came from. My brother did say some major gamer uses this brand mouse, so that's something said for that. As for this thing, this is a Razer Tournament keyboard, like 2014, something like that, but it's a wired keyboard. It does not have a numpad on it. It's like the cheapest one they had. It was like 70 bucks on Amazon when we bought it at that time of date, which was like June or something like that. So it uses Razer mechanical switches. I believe it was like their thing. It's like green and stuff. If I can pull off, yeah, there we go. So it uses one of these green mechanical switches. This is like the second or like the first keyboard we bought that actually my brother ever purchased that's mechanical. So interesting about that. Yep. But it does come with that. It does use Razer Synapse, and it has this detachable USB cable back here. Pretty good. And it's a gaming mouse that does the job. But I quite honestly prefer keyboards that do have a numpad. But guys, I'm going to pause the video and I'll get this computer up and running. By the way, this is that Logitech audio controller for the speakers here. Of course, that's plugged into the Sound Blaster like I said. So guys, I'm going to stop the video here and I'm going to continue once the computer is all ready and loaded up, and I'll show you guys the benchmark. Alright guys, here's the computer it's on right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but that fan's really spinning pretty loud. I know the temperatures are kept at about 98 degrees, which is not very good then compared to my computer. My computer, the fan's barely spinning at idle. It's about in the 80s, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and the fan's barely spinning. So I think that might be because it's actually that processor I bought is not very powerful than compared to what's on the market today, of course, but it's like powerful enough to get the job done. So here we have Performance Test 8.0 running on the computer, and we have a virtual, it's collecting all the status and what's on the computer right now, so we've got to give it a second. Right now it doesn't, there we go, got it. So here we go, here's pretty much a diagram of what's on the computer. We got that max 16 gigs right here. All 4 card slots are filled. The motherboard, I believe, can only accept up to 16 gigs tested. It may go up to more, I don't know. But that's what we safely put in the computer. At the price to get those memory cards, memory sticks, was actually a pretty good deal. So there's the Intel processor right here. That's a Linfield kind of processor, LGA 1156. Goes 2.8 gigahertz. Turbo's up to 3 gigahertz, 3.1 gigahertz. But there's the level 2 cache is for 256 kilobytes, which is about 1 megabyte cache. And level 3 cache is 8 megabytes, but level 1 data cache is 128 kilobytes, I believe. But yep, this is that processor. It is the genuine Intel Core i7-860 at 2.8 gigahertz. So there you go. There's the Intel processor, and there's the RAM right here. RAM, it's going to be all the same. It says it has 4 gig SD RAM. So you just hit next, and going through the numbers here, nothing changes. Exactly the same, except for the serial number, which is different. So each RAM's about the same. We got that optical drive in here, which is an LG optical drive. Does not say it's an LG though. And the hard drive, Seagate, 465 gigabytes. It says it's a 500 gig hard drive. So Yep, there's the clock and the clock battery, and then this is the motherboard. Asus Tech Computer Inc. This is the motherboard's model number is a P7P55D-E. Its motherboard BIOS is American Megatrends. Its newest BIOS was installed December 15th, 2009, I believe. Alright, so I don't know if I run the benchmark yet. This computer has not run its benchmark. Guys, I'm going to run the benchmark. I'm going to stop the video and I'll run the benchmark, and I'll be back here in a second. Alright guys, the benchmark is completed, and this score is at 1,923.3 overall. I'm going to go ahead and look it up individually, what all the baseline is said about. So, the CPU mark scores this processor at 4,143. So, compared to what's other that has been benchmarked here, it is not as good. Let's say it's compared as a 58 compared to a 5820K. So that's a big difference in that size. This is the 5820K. So yeah, but right here that's the 5820K. 2D graphics test, not so bad, not terrible either. Does the job. I mean, it's not pretty bad. It's not as good as the GTX 980 above it, but that's pretty good. A lot better than the Radeon HD 6450, so that's pretty interesting. As for graphics test, does a lot better than the GTX 5850 Ti, but compares really bad, not as good as the GTX 980. So that's a complete difference. What's compared here. Memory mark, pretty high there. It's almost up with the other cards there. The one above it's a DDR4 stick, and the one above that one that's really long is DDR3 PC 31280, which should be about the same as ours, but it's a different brand. Probably it's a slightly higher clock speed of the RAM. And then the one above that that's kind of close to us is another DDR3 PC3 12800. So, and that one's made by Samsung. So that's your RAM benchmark, and then the last one's the disk benchmark. Probably not very good. Yeah, not very good at all. Those three very long ones are all a bunch of SSDs. Those are the ones that are really high in that range. Those are SSDs. But yep, guys. Not as good as this Seagate 1 terabyte drive here, but what you're seeing here, the green line is this computer, and the red lines are what it's being compared to on the market, or whatever it is being compared to. So that's pretty much it. But as a summary, there you go. It's 1923 pass mark rating. Comparing that, this one almost does better than number 3 and 4. But it does not compare to 9 or 6. Now, the strange part about this computer is, and I don't understand it, this computer is actually running Windows 10 64-bit. It was upgraded from Windows 7 Home Premium, but for some whatever reason, this computer reads in the operating system that it is Windows 8.1 build 9664-bit. So is it really a retouched version of Windows 8.1? Is this what Windows 10 is? I have no idea. That is pretty interesting, something to think about. But this computer, though, is forgot to say, my brother renamed the computer to BilboBaggins from Project 576, as this is his computer. I can't do anything about it. It's just his computer, and I have no control over it. And I'm pretty happy he's got a new gaming computer now. We could play games like Gary's Mod now at top FPS. My computer does it pretty well. Hopefully this one does it. I don't think we actually play Gary's Mod on this yet. But yeah, so BilboBaggins is his new name. He is a fan of Hobbit, so that explains a lot. So this is BilboBaggins right here, guys, and I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching this video or episode of Daniel's Videos and Etc. Me talking about this computer and what hardware it has in it now. And thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that may be. I believe we're also, yeah, so whatever that may be, watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Like, subscribe, favorite, share, comment. I don't think you guys actually have seen my brother yet, except for this one video where he's in it. I'm not going to say. You're going to find that yourself. So sorry. But But guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that may be. Like I said, watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Catch you guys later.